Hey, Torch Moms. Welcome to season 2 of the Torch Mom podcast, where things are about to get spicy. We hope you're ready to dive into some intimate conversations that will ignite your curiosity and empower your relationships. This season, we're exploring topics that might make you blush, but don't worry, it's all in the name of growth and self discovery. Grab a cup of your favorite beverage, find a cozy spot, and get ready to light up the room with these sizzling, thought provoking episodes. Let's get ready to ignite the torch and embark on this spicy season together. We have Ash, a torch mom, taking on risk and crushing hate, here to have some torch talk with us today. Hey, Ash, how are you?
I am good, Tia. How are you today?
I am doing great. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing space with us today.
I'm excited.
All right, well, we're going to dive right on into these questions. Okay. Get this
All right.
party started. So, first off, I'm going to ask share with us about your journey for redefining your life after having your second child.
Oh God, it was rough. Before I got pregnant with him, I had the plan. Like I am an ultimate planner. It was written out. I knew exactly what I was gonna do, how I was gonna do it, how long it was gonna take me to get it done. And then I got sick. Like while I'm like in the action of doing it, I had already been a full-time entrepreneur, but I was making a really big shift back into real estate full time. And I don't know what happened. It just like everything, I got sick. And I tried to push through the sickness during the pregnancy and I had to sit down somewhere. Then I had it, and while I was pregnant with him, I had antepartum depression, which I didn't even know was a thing. I had never heard of it. And that's like when you're depressed while you're pregnant. And then I had postpartum depression. So I'm a high functioning depressed person though. I still function as if everything's okay. Um and
Mhm.
had him and got right back to work, and I would strap him on my back and he'd be showing homes with me. But somewhere along the way, I live in Georgia. I was like, this is a little ridiculous. Like you cannot be driving all over the state with a baby in the back seat. And I ended up having to start taking care of my in-laws. And I felt like a failure. I felt like, gosh, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. And I don't want to make adjustments because I have the plan and I want to stick to the plan. And you see everybody online like, look at me, I'm
Mhm.
superwoman, I can do it, this and that, all the same. So I had to sit with myself and it was hard. And have some really honest conversations. It's not that it's not something I wasn't good at. It just wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And so having those honest conversations with myself, my husband, and whatever best friend I had, like with her, it was hard, but it was worth it. I'm happy I did it and I didn't try to just hustle, hustle, hustle myself to death.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Now that's a story within itself, okay? And mm, and I didn't even know anything about the first side of the depression state of the pregnancy. So you taught me something there. I knew about the postpartum because I went through it as well. So
Yep.
I knew about that part, but you just taught me something, with the other side. So that's definitely different. So, like you mentioned that, how did you even recognize the signs of it?
Um, so my husband is really good at knowing when I shift. Like even if I'm still working, it's like I get up. I get up in the morning and I start my day, and he's like, You're in the bed. You okay?" Like, no, I'm in a space. I don't know the space, but I'm in a space. Um, but During the pregnancy, I knew something was wrong simply because like I couldn't be in small spaces. Like I had trouble being in the car. It was just a small space and I was having these panic attacks. So that's how I knew during pregnancy. Even when you know how you go and they put the monitor and you're supposed to sit for like 30 minutes while they listen to the baby's heartbeat, I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit in a
Mm-hmm.
room and I was pandemic pregnant. I couldn't sit in the small little bitty room by myself for 30 minutes and relax. It just did not exist for me. So I had to go twice a week for ultrasounds. So yeah, just little things.
Man, it's good that you had that partner there to catch it with you too, right?
Yep.
It's like good thing that you didn't have to deal with that by yourself and figure it out. Cause he like, hold up, you usually up and popping. What's going on?
Yeah.
Why
He's
are you
like, you
still in the bed?
okay? Yep.
So then you said your in-laws. So balancing between caring for your in-laws and pursuing your own goals can be definitely demanding.
Mhm.
So how do you manage to create boundaries, take care of yourself, and not feel like you're giving up on your own aspirations?
You know, that's not easy. It was not easy at all. I realized that one, I had to go to therapy. Like there was a point a year ago where I was like, I need to go to therapy because I have two kids. I have a 12-year-old and he's now two. And I was just like, I'm so busy taking care of everybody else but myself. Even when I would take time to myself, there were still things that you're like, I'm not showing up the way I should be. Like, why do I feel like I have to be this wonderful daughter in law? Like, why do I have to be this perfect daughter in law? Because my husband's like, they'll be all right. Like, that's his attitude about it. Um, but for me, it was like, no, I want to make sure they're comfortable and everything's right. And he's like, but they don't appreciate anything. And I'm like, oh, you're so right. They don't. But you know, so I had to go to therapy. I'm a great boundary setter and I'm great at cutting people off. Like, but for my in-laws, it was not that easy because I felt like this obligation to my husband to be a great wife because he's such a great husband. And I'm not putting him on a pedestal at all, but it's like, oh, I need to because I'm here, take care of his parents and help them out and do what they need. But they took advantage. And so I had to really learn how to set boundaries with them. We're good now. We're good. But it wasn't always that way.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, it can be done. It can definitely be done. And like you said, you were able to set those boundaries, put things in place, and things changed. So
Yep.
that's the good about that. Okay, so you transitioned from the real estate agent over to life coach,
So
or are you
I
still doing both?
so okay, that's the funny thing. So I was doing real estate when I lived in Chicago. I took a break, built my career, quit because I wanted to do something that made me happy and put myself first. And I went into coaching. And then I decided that I missed real estate so much and I was just going to get straight back into real estate um, and quit coaching. So I did. And I had to sit down and I had to weigh like, okay, what am I good at, but what am I great at? And I'm a good real estate agent, but I'm a great coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
will never, ever, ever let my real estate license go again. Ever. Like I let it go before. I will never do that again. I'm going to keep it to work with the people like family members, for myself, for my mom. I'll keep it to refer my friends to really good agents because that is still a stream of income. You know, we always talk about multiple streams of income. So if I know people in other states and they
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to look for in an agent, see, I operate with integrity like all the time. So I'm going to tell people, well, this is what you need to look for in an agent. This is why you need an agent. This is maybe why you wouldn't need an agent. I'm going to give it to them straight. So I'm never letting my license
Right.
go again. I will do deals, but that is not that is not what I plan on doing full time because it takes a lot of energy, effort, and I'm always stay up to date on the market, but it's not my thing. Coaching is my thing, and I'm clear on that.
Okay. Okay. Let that be known.
Hey,
That's what it is. Coaching.
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Well, I love it. I love it. Because I'm in property management. I want to have my broker's license. So I'm looking into that, but I'm gonna give it some time. But I'm in the property management field now as we speak. So it's
yeah.
pretty
I think
cool.
it's just
I'm
good to
able to do
have.
it on time. So it's yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. That multiple streams of income. Listen, I love being a serial entrepreneur. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. The freedom
I
that
don't
it
think I
gives
could go
me
back to
is
work.
what I love the most.
Yeah.
Now, it's like even thinking of it be like, I'm about to cry. Not
Yes.
doing it.
Yeah.
So, as a mom of both toddler and preteen, how do you handle the different stages and challenges that come with raising two children with such an age gap?
Prayer. No. I thought it was gonna be easy. I thought it got easier. No, I have a girl, and it's not got. It gets harder. She's 7th grade. Middle school is for the birds.
Mm,
Um, I am thankful that I am an entrepreneur because I'm able to be a bit more present. Like I did the whole working, climbing the career ladder when she was a baby. And it was
mhm,
hard trying to
mhm,
you are worn out when you get home. And the last thing you want to do is now give all this energy to your kid. And then the last thing you have from there is energy to give to yourself or your partner. So
mhm,
I'm thankful that I'm able to find harmony in the chaos of life because I can control my schedule. But there are
mhm,
times
mhm.
where what was it, Tuesday, I was over my son and I was like, Mom, hey, when do you want your grandson? Like, when you want him? And I had to send him away so that I could chill, like get my mind together. Because if you're mentally drained, that's gonna come across in how you talk to everybody around you. You're gonna be nasty, you're gonna have a
Yeah,
bad attitude, and they're looking at you
yeah,
like you crazy because you're bringing this stank energy, and then so they're gonna come meet you back with stank energy, and it's just gonna be like really bad. Um, so
yeah.
I send my kids away. That's one of the things I do. I know everybody doesn't have that privilege, so I would say get a babysitter and go away, run away for a little while. Yeah.
It's I missed the last part. You said that you would say what? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said I know everybody doesn't have the privilege to send their kids away. So get a
Hmm.
babysitter and run away for a little while. Like get a
Yeah.
babysitter and go. I don't care if you sit in the car
Yep.
and listen to music. Run away for a little while.
Hmm. You got to have some breathing room.
Yep.
Even when I walk
Yep.
in here and my daughter, she's like, "Hey, mommy," I'm like, "Hey, baby, give me a kiss. I need 30 minutes,
Yeah. Make it known what you
just
need so
real
then
quick."
everybody's on the same page. Yep.
Hmm. Hmm. You give yourself to let whatever happened on the outside not be in your home, and not transfer that energy to your home.
Yeah.
It's a big
Yeah.
deal. It's a big deal, like you said, with that communication. When you're not having a good day and you need that time for yourself, things are not going to play out how you want them to.
Yep.
Things end up happening that you weren't even expecting, and then you got to
Yep.
change that around. So that's a lot of time to be
Yeah.
taken up. And nowadays, that's the biggest thing. And I really say it a lot, like you have to cherish the time that you had. Worship your
That's all
time.
we got. Yes, that's you cannot get that back.
Nope. Nope. So you gave some advice for other moms as well with that. I appreciate you for giving that love out to the torch moms. I definitely do. We have a boutique, and one of our collections is labeled "It's a nonstop hustle." And I also got a chance to, well, the opportunity to purchase a book, right, and get it signed, and it's called "Drop the Hustle." The author's name is Tiffany Major, and it's either Major or Majors. Don't quote me on that. But the book was spicy. It's
Okay.
definitely a great read. Okay. So may I ask, what does hustle mean to you?
Oh, hustle is it was sent to burn us out. Like that's what it was sent to burn us out. Like a lot of people think it's just I have to constantly be busy. I have to constantly be doing. And that's not necessarily what it is. So I say after hustle because that the mindset that we have with hustle is that we have to drive ourselves in the ground. And we do not have to drive ourselves in the ground. All we have to do is be intentional and purpose driven in the things that we want and the life that we want to live. And you can get just as much done as somebody who's running themselves in the ground. So when I say F the hustle, it's not
Yeah.
don't do any work. No, no, no. No, you have to do the work, but you don't have to kill
Yeah.
yourself in the process.
Yeah. It's all in definitely your perspective on things, because I feel like for me on my end, it's a nonstop hustle when it comes to what you have to do for self to keep you going to do the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely all in how you choose to put it. And like you said, you don't that burnout zone, you don't want to hit
Mm,
that stage. Because pulling
mm-mm.
up out that stage, that's tug of war.
Yep.
That's tug of
It's
war.
hard to
That's a
come
big
out of
fight.
it. Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. So, how do you help moms prioritize self care and maintain their own well being while navigating life changes?
Ooh, that's a good. Ooh, okay. Well, for me, the first thing is I think a lot of people have to define whose life they're living. Have you stopped and stepped back and said, this is what I want out of life? Or is it something that somebody else put in your head along the way? You can't lay out any of the rest of it. You can't decide what self care looks like for you. You can't decide what, because self care is different for everybody. For me, hair and nails is
Mm-hmm.
not self care, it's maintenance. Like that is, I have to have my hair and my nails done. That's not my idea of self care. But
Mm-hmm.
until you know the kind of life that you want to live and you start really defining that, and are you living your life or are you living somebody else's life, you can't define everything else. You can't say, these are the steps that I need to take. I'm not a believer in like big coaching programs because they're not individualized.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's out here living a different life.
Yeah.
But when you can go one on one with
Mm-hmm.
the coach and you can really dig into what's your life look like now? What do you want your life to look like? And then how are we going to make this happen? And then how are you going to be held accountable to making it happen? Different results come from that.
Mm-hmm. 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 That one on one is big.
Hmm.
That one on one
Yeah.
is big. And I feel
Yeah.
like you're definitely taking the time out for that person to give them that service from the heart. You're not
Yep.
just working just to be working. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's dope. And I appreciate you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I saw your story. I saw your story about the process of investing 10K into your 7-year old's idea after you quit your job. What was the idea?
Girl. All right. So she was like, Mommy, I want to YouTube and I want to sell clothes. Like, I want to sell shirts. My mind was like, well, kid
Mhm.
businesses are always going to make the most money. Like kid businesses, people will always pay for anything for their kids. First of all, nobody take that advice because that's not necessarily true. If you don't understand marketing and you don't understand it at a high level,
It's
it ain't gonna work. It's not true. I didn't know how much I had to learn. I didn't know how much I had to learn until I when I quit my job. I had a lot of learning that I had to do quickly. So we invest, like we hire logo designers, we pay for a trademark, we pay for the website, people to design the shirts and just anything her little heart desired, and bought equipment for her YouTube channel that she
okay.
quickly, within maybe 6 months, was over all of it. Photo shoots, everything. She was over all of it.
Wow. 6 months.
But
It
that's what
was
I
like,
get.
that's it.
Yeah, but that's what I get. That's what I get for being stupid. And you know,
But
living
I
out
wouldn't
somebody
call it
else's dream.
stupid. I wouldn't call it stupid. That part.
Yep.
Now I could go with the second part, but it
Yep.
wasn't stupid because they can come up with some great ideas. And if they're definitely
Yeah.
feeling that process, they'll stick to it,
Yeah. Yeah. There's some
And you never
talented little
know.
kids out here.
You never
It's
know.
some very talented kids out here. And she's got talent. And I'm not just being a braggy mom. She's talented. She just doesn't have discipline.
Okay. Okay. Yep. So, and when my daughter was 7, that's when she wanted to start her business.
Okay.
So she wanted to do her lip gloss, and then I was like, "Well, you have all these ideas for kids and how you want your clothes to be, so you're going to take over the kids line because it was men, women, and kids for me." But I'm like, "No, you can have the kids side. That's all you." And then she
Okay.
added in her lip gloss, so she makes her own lip gloss. So that's
Oh,
super cool. And she's 11 now, and she's still going on with it. And she has a store and everything. So
that's
you
dope. What's
never
her
know
store?
what they're going to
What's her
do,
store?
but at
Yeah,
least
you
we're
gotta
there.
plug it.
Say that again.
You gotta plug her store. What store
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
AO Boutique, 554 Baltimore, Maryland. That's where we're
Dope.
located, and we're
Dope.
side by side, mom and daughter duo. And
Love it.
I love it. I love it so much to have her right by my side doing the same thing I'm doing. So it's super cool. It's
That's dope.
definitely cool. So, um, let's see. Where do I want to go next with this? What advice would you give to other parents who may want to support their children's entrepreneurial spirit, but also need
Mm.
to consider their own goals and ambitions?
Make your kid do the work. Don't do the work for them. Don't make it so easy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
sit
Mm-hmm.
down with them. I definitely parent her ideas different now. And it's like, okay, put a plan together. Do it,
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will support you, but you need to come up with the plan. You need to present the plan. You need to come up with a budget. You need to do your research. Make it
Mm-hmm.
make sense. I'm not going to carry your load.
Yeah. I'm here to assist
Yeah, because it's still, you still have to
at
spend
all
time with your
angles.
kids.
But
Yeah, you still got to spend time with your kids. You still have to learn how to fill the space and how to have conversation with them. So those are great conversations that you can have because they're doing the work. You're just helping them think that level that they can't think, which still gives you time to do your
mm-hmm.
own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. So now it's time for the spicy side of Torch Talk. Before we dive into these thought provoking questions about relationships and intimacy, I want to remind everyone that this podcast aims to foster open and honest conversations. Our guest today has kindly agreed to discuss these intimate topics, and we appreciate their willingness to share their insights. Please note that discussing sensitive subjects requires mutual respect and consent. So we've created a comfortable and safe space for our conversation. If at any point, Ash, you feel uncomfortable, remember that you have the option to skip questions or choose not to answer.
All right.
With that said, let's explore these important aspects of personal growth and relationships together. So, my first question for you is, what are some creative ways you found to keep the romance alive in your relationship after having kids?
Mm. So for me, this I don't even know if this is creative. My husband was my best friend before we dated. So we kind of
Mm-hmm.
go back. You have to get rid of the kids. Like you have to. It's hard because it's a
Mm-hmm.
especially with boys. Boys want their mama all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we've dating. We date each other. Like we got an opportunity to get some tickets for a game. And I know it's not sensual, but for us it is. We're boring people. So we got an opportunity to go to a game. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's get a sitter and go. And I didn't even know. I was like, "Are you happy we came?" It was a football game preseason recently. I was like, "Are you happy?" He was like, "Yeah, because I got to date. I got a date with my wife." And so just the simple thing of getting a date, not talking about the kids on the date, like talking
Mm-hmm.
about each other and checking on each other and saying, "Are you happy?" Like that's a check that you have to do. Are you happy? Are we good? Is it something I need to be doing better? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times people are unhappy and they don't know how to say it. There's something that you could be doing very small and it compounds over time. And so to keep us liking each
Yeah.
other, which keeps us, loving on each other, you have to do that little post check.
Definitely. I'm with that answer fully. It's hard truth. It's definitely hard
Yeah.
truth because like we said before, communication is key. And when the kids aren't around, you definitely get to dive into, what's going on with each other,
Yep.
have that
Yep.
private conversation. So
Yep.
I love it. Next one. Have you ever had to navigate differences in sexual desires or preferences with your partner? And if you did, how did you handle it?
Yeah, I think anytime any partner that I've ever had intimate relations with, people don't know what you like unless you tell them. And I am very much, I will educate you all day on how to make me feel good. And
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to do the same if you're confident enough in yourself to say, hey, do this. Um, yeah, I'm very, very open and honest about and I'll tell you while we're doing it. Like, okay, now do this, just a little bit of this, and do that. Oh, that's it. Like, I'll tell you while it's going on.
Okay. Right. Right. Let it be known. So you don't have to have no uncomfortability going on. Talk about it.
Nobody's a mind reader.
Cause I'm like,
Nobody is a
what's the
mind
scary
reader.
part?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And if you already at that part, what you scared of saying?
Girl.
So, okay. So, how do you feel about experimenting with new things in the bedroom? Is it important to you, or it's not really something that comes to mind?
No, it's not. I think I'm just at an age now where we kind of boring and be happy to just get the time with each other. Now, if we went on a vacation alone, we probably would do something different. But just like everyday life, nah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not even there right now.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. So this is my last one on the spicy side. hmm So, what are your thoughts on incorporating? Well, you kind of answered that, but I'm still going to ask. So, what are your thoughts on incorporating fantasy and role playing in a long term relationship? Long term sexual relationship.
Yeah, you know what? You have to do it. So I people may get mad at me for saying this, but monogamy is not necessarily natural, and you have to do things to keep the relationship spicy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just has to happen.
Yeah, yep.
It does. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience or anyone that you would like to give flowers to before we close out?
I'm gonna give you some flowers because you have been like one of the dopest hosts from day one with your communication. And you do not get that when you are doing podcasts. So kudos to you. You're doing a great job. And yes, it's funny. I have never heard of that book, Drop the Hustle, but I am writing a book called F the Hustle. So I'm gonna check her book out. Yeah, I'm writing a book, and I just honestly, I think people don't, women don't put themselves first enough, and it's super important.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, partnering with a coach to figure out your present and your future can help you
Mm-hmm.
explode and do so many things. And so I'm here for any woman that would like to partner. And I do free breakthrough calls. So that is something that I do because every coach is not for you. You got to first see if you gel before you
If
just
it's the
make that
right
kind
fit.
of a commitment. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. They can always reach out. Ask your coach is my website, and I am thankful for this experience in this interview.
I am thankful for having you. I am very thankful for you, sharing your experiences and being open to talk about so many different things with me. It's amazing. It definitely is. I'm surprised by any guest that comes on. And I'm thankful for it. I
Yeah,
feel like us as women, we need this space to speak out and say what we choose. Sometimes I don't have a topic. I want you guys to come on here. I have some questions for you answer them. And if there's anything else that you want to say, then you say it. The floor is yours. I made this space for you guys. So
oh,
I always want any mom to know that. It doesn't matter what type of mom you are. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be set right in life to jump on here. Anybody can learn from anybody. It's just on what you're learning
so true. Yep.
and what you're going to do with it when you learn it. Are you going to take action? Right? So that's the biggest thing. I thank you so much again, Ash, for giving us the opportunity to share space with you. And we
Thank you.
truly appreciate your time and energy.
Thank you.
So I'm going to close out by saying, as you guys know, negativity is forbidden and energy is power. Didn't have a backstage pass to check out the live stream? It'll be available for viewing on our YouTube channel, The Torch Mom Podcast. So be sure to subscribe, like, and share. If you have any questions or experience to share, send us an email to the Torch Mom Podcast at gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at the Torch Mom Podcast. Remember, what you desire, you already have. We love you. Stay torch.